right, so we're gonna go deeper with symbolism in movies. So the Lord of the Rings definitely showed a lot of powerful stuff, bro, and it really showed the Hermetic principles, right? So all is mind. The ring literally, in Middle Earth, thought, willpower, and intention literally shape reality. So the ring amplifies the inner mind of the wearer, bro, whoever carries the ring. So characters are literally corrupt internally before they receive external power through the ring. Power comes from the control of perception and consciousness. So the ring didn't simply give people power, it revealed what was already inside of the individual. You know what? The Hermetic principle, power reveals the psyche. For example, Boromir saw salvation for his kingdom. Frodo got weak as he carried it, so he was a weakling for sure. And they portrayed that excellent. Gollum became addicted to the identity that it gave him, his precious. But by him trying to possess the ring was possessing him. Bro, the movie was good, bro. It had all type of occult and hermetic principles, and we're gonna go deeper. What I find fascinating is celebrities play archetypes too, and we're gonna talk about that, right? And how they apply hermetic principles. I was doing that on my old page, but I'm gonna just leave that since they took that from me. So let's go into the movie. Melkor, right? He was literally basically Lucifer, because Lucifer was the fallen angel. He had pride and rebellion, corrupts creation, becomes the ruler of darkness, right? What did Melkor do? He was the strongest out of his clique. He desired to dominate creation. He twists the light into orcs, and then he becomes Morgoth. So you got to understand. And then his chief servant becomes Sauron. So basically, Morgoth, primordial fallen angel, Sauron, lieutenant of corruption, bro. This literally reflects the hermetic principle of polarity. Light and darkness emerging from the same source. This is the Jesus, this is the Lucifer architect, right? Two sides of the same coin. You see what I'm saying? One corrupts. The fire corrupts and burns and destroys. The other, the fire purifies and destroys the evil that destroys all of life and creation. But let's keep going. When you think about Gandalf, he was basically the Christ-like figure of Middle Earth, right? So Christ sacrificed, death and resurrection, message of divine order, etc. Gandalf, he falls fighting Balrog, right? Returns as Gandalf the White, right? Sent by higher powers, etc. So he literally dies and resurrects, bro. The transformation from Gandalf the Great to Gandalf the White mirrors spiritual rebirth. This is literally Gnosticism happening in Lord of the Rings. And this is what I figured out about a lot of these popular movies. They not only hold up mirrors to society, they use hermetic and magical principles, occult knowledge that you might not recognize consciously, but subconscious. This is how I know it's spiritual in nature, because people flock to this unbeknownst to the symbolism that's triggering your subconscious and the spirit within you. There is a reason it lasts so long. It's a reason some of these movies get super popular, bro. And it's the symbolism. Symbols carry power, bro. But hold on. You think about the Saturn symbolism, which was really fascinating. Basically, the ring literally promised to defy time, but it literally accelerated corruption. Saturn represents time in symbolism, Chronos, the black cube. But let's keep going. So now, when you think about the rings representing technological domination, guised as gifts to mankind, Sauron creates them as a control system, right? One ring to rule them all. That's the quote. Symbolically, the ring is centralized power structures, bro. Each ring bearer becomes connected to the master system. Okay, so this is essentially a surveillance hierarchy. 9 rings, kings become Nazgul, controlled through dependency. The Nazgul, right? So the ring rapes are what happens when leaders surrender sovereignty to evil and power, bro. I want to know one of the most powerful takeaways that I figured out with Frodo, though, because although he was mentally weak, his spirit was strong, okay? Because he literally represents power structures that fall when ordinary people resist corruption. All it takes for evil to win is for good people to do nothing. So you could be weak of the mind and still have a strong enough spirit to persevere and resist temptation, bro. He had a very strong spirit, but his mind was being corrupted the whole time he was carrying that ring. But let's keep going. If you think about the orcs and corrupted humanity, the orcs is basically dehumanized armies, dehumanized humans, mass corruption, industrial warfare. So now you're thinking about ICE, you're thinking about what's happening with Israel, Iran, you're thinking about the things that America has done. All of these countries are dirty. Every country on planet Earth has done some dirt. There's no way around this. And that's literally, you could say, what some of this thing symbolizes in the movie. It's a mirror. It's literally popular movies, bro. They hold a mirror to society, and they either tell you what's going on in present day, what they think is going to happen, or know is going to happen in the future, or they're reflecting in the past. This is what makes some of these movies pillars in society to this day, and Lord of the Rings is one of them. But hold on. You know what's scary about Sauron? Sauron itself wasn't actually evil. When you think about surveillance states, it's control, bro. Literally, the true villain is dominating free will, like Darkseid. Darkseid doesn't want to just get rid of life. He wants to get rid of free will, which is life. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes Darkseid so creepy. And that's the same thing with Sauron. If you think about the eye of Sauron, they were telling you, this is a surveillance state, bro. Look at the little camera on your phone. The eye, dog. Stop playing with me. But let's keep going. If you really think about the Middle Earth theme and then the real world reflection, the mirror to society, Middle Earth theme, endless war, industrial destruction, loss of nature, corrupt leaders, bro. Dog. 20th century world wars, mechanized warfare, drones, for example, industrial expansion, right, with oil, fighting over oil and gold and all of this crap. And then you got power, political power struggles. Look, let's think about very recently, I'm about to give you a real good example. Charlie Kirk and whatever his girl name is. Basically, some information just came out that their marriage was over, and Charlie was telling people that before he got assassinated. This chick married into Charlie to get into close proximity to power. And now look what Trump did, bro. Listen, it's the same thing with you people that try to mosey up to celebrities or people who know what they're talking about, have more information and knowledge, who have been in real circles, bro. A lot of y'all, and I told people this too. At does not mean equal. So just because you can add a celebrity on TikTok don't mean you equivalent value. Don't even mean that you really got a right to, but it's your American right because you got free will under God in this country, bro. Let's keep it a buck. You see what I'm saying? So these are the political power structures and struggles that are happening in real time, and Lord of the Rings was showing us this. Hold on. I want to know what the real message is. Power tries to centralize itself. It centralizes control. And the most dangerous power is a power that promises to fix everything. That's the temptation of the ring, and that was the temptation of Trump. What did they sell you? I will not go to war. What did they sell y'all, bro? And what is Lord of the Rings telling you? Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm going to be back with more for sure. We're going to go deeper with the cult knowledge, symbolism in movies, hermetic principles, universal principles. I'm not an expert movie reviewer, but I have my own skill set, and I've never seen anybody talk about movies in the way that I'm doing it. So I'm going to keep doing this because I feel like I know for sure it's opening people's minds. I'm sorry that it took 7 minutes. At the end of this video, when I upload it, I'm going to speed it up so y'all can actually make it through this 7-minute video, 8 minutes now. And I appreciate you if you stayed this long.